Hi, let me show you something interesting about multi-platform programming for macOS, Linux, and Windows. In the late 80s, there was a programming language completely new, which called Pascal. This language survived decades right now and still available on the market by maintained by communities, and also there is another uh, Pascal-based language which called Delphi, and this one is commercially available on the market. With Pascal, you can still program to many languages and I mean many platforms. And if you want to start to work on a multi-platform application, this might be a good selection for you. Um, let's start from the beginning and let's see where we can get this. So if you go to the Lazarus website, Lazarus Lazarus IDE.org website, you can get to the Lazarus community website where you can find the download right on the top, and you can get some information about the actual status of the project, and you can also learn about the language and so on. So you can see here that Lazarus is based on Free Pascal, so already the IDE was written in Free Pascal as well. And if you want, you can even download the original source code, and you can compile it for your system. As you can see, you can develop to many different platforms. So you can see here the platforms, and the biggest ones are the Mac OS, Linux, and of course Windows. But you can develop to mobiles as well with this language. So if you want to install it for yourself, you can go to the download page, or you can select from this list here. And as you can see, this is already widely available for 32 bits platforms, 64 bits platforms, and also macOS, not just the Intel platform, but also the Silicon platforms as well. Okay, so let's go to the download page, and the download page is automatically brings you to the download page where you can download the IDE and also the Free Pascal compiler for your architecture. So because I'm running it on macOS right now, I got the macOS download. Here I should tell you that currently there are issues with the compiler on the newest macOS versions, and this is related to some changes in the Xcode tools, which you also need to download on your system if you use macOS. And there were some changes where the compiler is generating some directives which are running into a failure when you try to link the compiled code. So if you want to run it right now on macOS, you can still run it, but you need to have a virtual machine. And as you can see, I'm currently running it on a virtual machine using actually the Ventura 13.4.1 version of the macOS system. This is a little bit a drawback at the moment, but the community will solve the problem. There are already changes in the compiler code, the source code. However, it's hard to compile it by yourself. So I would not recommend to start to dig into it. It's better if you download or you create a virtual machine, make the Ventura or and then try to run it there. So once you downloaded and installed the software, you need to select between different base setups, let's say, and the original setup of the Pascal IDE, this Lazarus IDE, is somewhat for me it was weird at least. So all the windows, the source editor, the menu system and so on was on separate windows, and it was a bit chaotic. But you can decide at the beginning if you want to use that so-called old version of the system, or you would like to have it in um, one window, or if you want to have the form editor in a separate window. So as you can see here, that I set up my solution on a way that the ID itself is in one window, but the forms what I'm creating is in a separate window, um, where you can basically create uh, your application windows. Some things about the Lazarus and the Free Pascal. So basically, the Free Pascal is based on the original Objective Pascal solution, which was available somewhere around the 90 to 93. um, so it's a pretty old language already with this Objective Pascal solution. And for the Windows system, or for these GUI systems, which are the Mac OS, Linux, and the Windows, the system was built with lot of kind of widgets or objects, what you can see here. So basically, the standard ones are the typical ones. So um, menu system, for example. So if you want to put the menu somewhere, then you can create it like this, and then you have a menu editor where you can create your menus. Let's go back here and delete it. Okay, so if I'm going to the main window, oops. So if I'm going to the main window, I already have here the main menu, and you can see that this is how it's created, and you can define, of course, shortcuts and so on. So basically, it's a very handy tool. And once you run your application, this is following the standard behavior of your system. So in macOS, the menu will be in the menu line of the system. So as you can see, that here is the main screen, and here we have the menu what what I showed you uh, before. So this is how it's is generating the things, and basically when you go to one of the windows I've created, then then you can see that basically how it works. The language itself is a bit of an old-fashioned way of defining the code. So basically, you have a standard structure of the Pascal code itself. So basically, it's starting with a unit name, Then you have to have an interface area where you are basically defining what you will code below um, and the implementation. Then you need to add those units what you want to utilize inside your code, and then you need to define your types and variables. And within the types, you typically define your classes or your class, and then you have private and public function definitions if you want, but of course you can simply just define it as a standard one. And then your variables definition, which are the global variables, and then you can start to have the implementation phase where you basically need to implement those procedures and functions what you have defined in the interface section of the code. Um, I don't want to talk about right now about the Pascal language. If you want to learn it, then you have a pretty good documentation on the Lazarus website or at the Free Pascal website. Um, but yeah, here I just show you how this IDE works. So uh, going back to the objects, so as I said, you have the standard objects what you can see here. Then you have additional ones, some decorative buttons, different things. Common controls are typically those controls what you are using on your pages or your screens, like tab controls, and other picture collections and so on. Then you have the standard dialogues like save dialogues, open dialogues, and these are typically giving a link to your system or operational system um, standard dialog boxes. So if you use macOS, an open dialog will be opened as a macOS open standard open dialog. But of course, you can create your own open dialog as well. So it's not limited to just these standard ones. And even sometimes it's better if you create your own version with listing the files, listing the directories, and so on, date pickers and others. There is a huge variety of data controls and data access solutions here. So if you want to use MySQL databases, you also have the chance to do it. Um, Currently, as you can see, that not too much database system installed here, and this is the point where it makes sense to talk about the package system of the environment. So basically, if you are missing something from your system, then you can install and uninstall packages to your system. So here, if I'm selecting this database version, you can see that it's actually added into here as a plus, and then you need to rebuild the IDE, and you will see that the package itself will be added and all the rest will be kept. So once you start the compilation, it makes for you the system, and when it is done and you restart, it should be added. Okay, so there are many other objects what you can use and custom controls. Um, and as you could see, I was making a very small sample program which is using an SQLite database, and you can already customize it. So you can basically go to the library or the folder where you have the file itself, and you can generate a base file for the system, and then you can start to use it. So it's a, a pretty simple program at the moment. It was just a kind of trial how it can work. But for example, if I'm creating a kind of formula here, then this will be creating the formula for a calculation. So yeah, this is just some play around. So this is how it works on a Mac OS system, and I also show you how it works on Linux and Windows.
So here we are in Linux, and let's start the Lazarus system under Linux. And as you can see, the application itself is the same, the code is the same. So basically, you can just move your original code files into Linux, and as you can see, the forms are exactly the same as just on the macOS system, and you don't need to do anything else just to run the application. But of course, once you are moving from one system to another, this let's say this location of the application file needs to be changed to be able to run it in your system. But you can do it very easily, and you can recompile your code. So here you can see that the menu system is exactly the same as it was in the OS X, but of course it was appearing at the top left bar of the system. Here in Linux, it's under the title row or title of the application window itself. So it exactly looks like the same, and the code is running in the on the same way. You can even have your own file system um, screen or form as well. You can generate the folder trees, and the files themselves can be listed. So you don't need to use the system provided um, application or system provided form, but you can use the you can use your own form as well. Okay, so this is about the Linux system, and let's go to the Windows.
Open here Lazarus again. Yeah, so again, the system itself opened, and now we can run it here as well, similarly like in um, you see that here is the issue that I did not change the the position of the file, the application file itself. So okay, the file is open, as you can see, same menu again, and here is the form. Of course, it's following the system um, layout, and then this other form is working on the same way. So basically, as you can see, the good thing about Lazarus is that you can make one application, and then you can bring it to the different system, and you can compile them and run them, and you can generate native applications with icons, with settings, whatever you need for the different systems. So of course you can do similar things maybe in Java, because that is also a multi-platform solution. However, with Java it's a bit difficult to generate an exe file or an application file for macOS, for example. But and also the other drawback of the Java is that you can decompile the application, so you can basically sharing the source file, which is your intellectual property, of course, and if somebody wants to reverse engineer your application, then they can do it easily. With the free Pascal and Lazarus, you don't need to afraid of this. Of course, like every application, reverse engineering could be possible with this, but it's much more heavier to do such a thing, to reverse engineer such a native application than for example the Java itself. So this is the Lazarus, and as I said, you can learn a lot about Pascal, the Pascal language itself, and how to code for this system. I can tell you that it's not more difficult than for other languages like Swift or Kotlin or Java. Um, Basically, these languages are pretty much the same. Only the syntax itself is a bit different. But as you can see, for example, the object names or these classes and their functions or their variables are used on the same way like in any other language. So basically, if you want to learn the differences, or you want to code for these languages, then learning one language can already help you to get to other languages. You just need to really think about the syntax itself, and of course there are some frameworks what you might be able to use right from the beginning, given by the IDEs to you, and then you can code very quickly, and you can create working applications. So that's all about Lazarus and Free Pascal. If you are interested, of course, look into the lazaruside.org website or the Free Pascal website, and you can get familiar with the system and how it works. Thank you for watching this tutorial, or this video about these systems, or this system, and see you in my other tutorials.